Virgo, I'm hearing Daniel Craig or ozone layer or something like that. The ozone layer or a cake layer, something to do with cake layer or the layer. Princess Leia. Luke Skywalker, the name Luke or Sky. Skylar, Tyler. But yeah, they keep saying Princess Leia, so something to do around Star Wars. So you could be dealing with an Aquarian, a life path 8, an Aquarian or / Leo. You're right, Virgo. Sorry, I've just got loads of stuff in my head. The name Edwina, Eddie. Okay, Edmondson, also from Edmondson, from Bury St Edmunds. So someone that's called Berry, or anybody that's beginning with B. Brian, Bethel, also Bethy, Beth. The name Beth. Death. You could be dealing with a Scorpio /4 or an Aquarius. 4 Aries. Sorry, Virgo, slow down a bit. You're right. How you doing? So for a start, we just channel a load of stuff for you, and then we look into the tarot. Okay. Yeah, but I keep hearing like Skywalker, like Luke, or slow down, down. I feel down. Like I just constantly feel down all the time. Like I'm always looking down at someone. Like, I mean, are you on a mountain and you're actually physically looking down, or are you like always looking down at a person all the while? Okay. Or like you're suffering from vertigo, Virgo, like suffering from vertigo and you feel dizzy, like, and you have dizzy spells and you're always looking down and you're like, cool, it's like standing on the Eiffel Tower or something like that. Okay, so you could be dealing with a tower, you could be dealing with 7, like path 7, but like I'm looking down and I'm like, oh, like that's a fucking long way down there. It's what I keep hearing, like it's a long way down. So some of you, like it's something about heights or wuthering heights, like, or vertigo or dizziness, something like a dizzy spell, or feeling like that, like, because I keep seeing that people are looking over at something thinking that is a long way down there. So I don't know what that is, unless you're thinking of travelling, because that is normally what we say. If you was going down south, you would look on a map and you think, man, that's a long way down there, like that's a long way for me to travel. If I want to go down there, that'll be like a long way to travel to. If I go up north, I'll be looking up north and thinking that's a long way up there. Okay, so for a lot of you, you could be looking at a map, basically, for a lot of you, and you're thinking that's a long way for me to travel. That's a long way to Tipperary. Okay, but temporarily. So some of you, the name Lee, Lisa, Laura, Lucy, Lucifer, Capricorn / Gemini. Sorry, I just done a huge thing for Leo, and it was very manic, and it seems to be the same in yours. Maja, Maney, from Maney. But let's stop with the static for a start. Star, something around Leo / Aquarian energy, right? And I keep picking up like someone looking at the map to try and find out where possibly someone lives and how far that would be in order to travel to go. Fargo, someone from Fargo, okay, or Fergo or Fargo, okay. But like, how far is it for me to go if I wanted to travel? How long would that take for me to get there? Like, if I wanted to just pop over and see someone, how long would that take? Okay, so it might be where you're planning on a trip, or say if I wanted to go to London, for instance, right? I don't live in London, but I'm not that far from it. But it would be easier for me to get on a train, right, to go to London. So some of you basically, because if you go to London, the last thing you ever want to do if you ever go to Britain and you want to go to London is do not fucking drive. Do not drive. You want the train, or you want to park and ride. So some of you might be going to like a city, say like New York or something, right? And you don't want to drive there, but you want to look into like a train, a plane, or an automobile. Okay, so you might be like wanting to go, I don't know, somewhere, like people do this in the UK. They want to go somewhere really nice to do Christmas shopping, okay? And they really want to go somewhere real nice, right? So that would be up north, really. A lot of people, they go to different places up north, but they think, okay, we're going to go to a certain market, okay, and what is that place called? I forget now. Nottingham, places like that, Nottingham or whatever. But they plan trips out, so they get on a coach and they go on a trip, and they think, okay, well, we could either go on a plane or a coach, save driving, we could kind of do that, or if I really wanted to get there quicker, it would probably be much quicker for me to get on a train and just go, okay, or a plane for a lot of you. Like, it might be quicker to go on a plane than it would be drive, okay. So like, for instance, if it was I think a lot of you are planning on a trip out to do some kind of Christmas shopping or visit family. I do. And if not, and you're cross-watching, your family are probably thinking about doing that. Okay, staying over the night and then visiting family and then coming back after Christmas. Okay, or something like that, or travelling somehow. Okay, but like if it was UK and where I am, and say if I wanted to go to Scotland, you would not really drive because it would be like 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours away. Okay, so it'd be a very long drive. So you could, I think, you can actually get a plane to the same part of the country to like Scotland. Okay, or you could go on a train, but that's like 580 quid to be on a train. It's one way. So something like that, like a train ride out. Like we could go on the train and we could go Christmas shopping and blah blah blah, and we could go over there and we could get on a train and just go. So for a lot of you, if you haven't planned this, I think that there's a future prediction of you more than likely planning it, of a day and a week out, or just a weekend away, or just a day away. And then, like, okay, they're saying that it's only a day away. Like, it's a travelling distance, but it's one day. So that's from here to Australia. Someone live in Australia. Like a 24-hour flight is what I'm hearing. Like, it's a 24-hour flight. It takes one day to get there. So some of you really are thinking about going long distance. Because you could be listening to Turin Breaks. So you could be dealing with a Cancerian, a Life Path 7. And if it isn't where you're kind of like doing anything around planning a trip or a flight, or it might be a private flight, I haven't seen you around for a long time. But like it would be family that are organising coming over for Christmas. Or it will be you guys that are planning on doing something around like Christmas shopping and getting on a train and then going there for the day and then coming back. Or like someone that just wants to visit their family but they don't really want to stay very long. So 8, Aquarius, Leo. They don't really want to stay very long. So they're just kind of like planning on what they could do. It might be around where I'm picking up on someone's energy, what they're thinking of doing for Christmas. And then some of you that may be together with a person, you're just kind of thinking about like having a couple of days off work and travelling away in order to go to shops and stuff. Right? That's really what I'm picking up for a lot of you. And some of you may have met someone, and you're kind of like, how far is that if I was to ever like get to be able to get to see this person, if I ever really wanted to meet them and anything like that, how far is that from where I am, whether I could meet them or not? This could be something around a Pisces for a lot of you, around a Piscean and not. Okay, and like, how far is that for me to go in order to be able to visit them and say hello? I say hello, you say goodbye, I say goodbye, you say hello. Lucy, Laura, anybody begin with L? Lucifer, so is there a Capricorn? Anyway, so let's see. So Virgo, what have you got coming up this week for Virgo? It's just that I've got this on my mind. I've actually got my first appointment with my counsellor for eating disorder, and I got my first phone call coming up, and I've never spoke to the woman before. And I'm going to have to sit on there for 3/4 of an hour on the phone, bruv, and I don't normally do that. But I'm going to have to sit there and divulge into all my thoughts and feelings of what I think and feel about food and everything else and mental health. And that first one is coming up in probably about half an hour. So let's get on with the reading. So, so I can't get it off my mind at the moment. I'm also hearing, you are always on my mind, you are always on my mind. Minder, child minder. This person looks after their elderly or a child minder. They look after children or the elderly here, and they are a minder. And I look after this person all of the time. So it would be people that work in the health industry. Okay, in the industry. I'm dealing with sort of Aquarius, Leo energy. I'm in the industry, rappers or something to do with that, wrapping paper in the industry, like I'm in the industry, industrial worker. Someone or you or your partner works for the industrial, so like housing development, all that kind of stuff, like hard working, like sort of like groundworks, scaffolding, groundworks, kind of like steel construction. Okay, I'm also hearing steel. Steve, Sarah, Sassy, but in the industry. It could be on the internet or something like that, but in the industry. Could be music industry for a lot of you, like I'm looking to be on the music industry. Industrial, though. They keep saying industrial worker. Okay, I'm seeing people here that work at a... here, what do we call them? I don't know, it's like a real big warehouse, and they have people that come in all the time, okay, and they're like industrial workers, okay, so it'd be a place like, they call them Whitworths, okay, and you go in there and they pack loads of newspapers and stuff like that, and they lick stamps and God knows what else, and they make loads of stuff, and they all go in and they clock in and they clock out, and you go in there and like they like sheet fabric workers that like feed like pieces of metal into like a machine, and they stamp it and whatnot, and then they pick another one up and it goes through, and then you get like a conveyor belt of stuff that comes and they shrink wrap it. And people that work in those kind of places, because I'm here, I definitely keep picking up that for a lot of you, someone that does that for a living, okay. Sheet fabric metal worker, metal works, metal Mickey, the name Mick, Mike, Melissa, Maria, Michael, Jackson, Julian, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine. Let's see. Virgo, what they got coming up this week, please, for Virgo. What they got coming up? Virgo. So, or Life Path 9. You can watch this as Life Path 9 or Virgo, or two life paths that come together to make a 9. Come together right now over me. Jim, Julian, Justin, Jackie, John. You can ring my bell. One step at a time, just one step. This is the first step to mankind. Something to do with the moon, which would be a 9 as well, but it would also be a mother, and then Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces could be involved. And this is my first step. I've just took step 1. So some of you are on recovery, like you either recover workers or you're on some kind of program of recovery, and it's step 1. Step 1. So like if you're taking any kind of medication, you might be talking to a therapist and you've just started it and this is your first week. Okay, your first week. Some of you might be working at a place and you've just started and it's your first week at work, or your first week off work. Something like that. It's either I've got a week off work, or I've just started work and it's my first week. Some of you are taking medication for either mental health or some kind of thing like myself, like food, and it's your first day. Or like, I'm keeping up like someone that's just started their medication for mental health, okay, like antidepressants or something, and it's their first week. They've not really been taking it long enough. They've not been taking it long enough to really see many results. So you might be picking up energies of like fatigue, okay, and laziness, and I can't really be bothered, and I don't really want to go out, and I don't really want to see anybody. So it might be where the tablets that you are taking, you could be getting side effects here. This is new to me, bruv. Side effects. Some of you could be getting like side effects of fatigue. So if you're doing anything also like the keto diet, this would be like ketones and stuff. So diabetics, because this is a hospital and a nurse and stuff as well. So it would be bloods work, blood group, something like that, a group. Okay, which would also be counselling is what I'm picking up, like peer group counselling, like we talk in groups of people about counselling session. So it'd be a 1-to-1. So, well, not if it's a peer group counselling. So, but I'm definitely hearing like a 1-on-1. Okay, and it's just me and you, and I'm talking to you about medication and ways that you can help get out of the spiral that you're on. Okay. I'm dedicated to my job as a national health, physical, mental health worker or doctor here, which is the Six of Pentacles, but it would also be a placement of Gemini, Capricorn from that person, or a life path 6, but it would also be the person that's receiving Stephen. It would also, I'm in this reading, but it would also be the person that's receiving the actual help from a person as well. So like your sibling, which could be your mother or your father, and if you didn't know, they would have some kind of strange placement of Virgo somewhere, but they would be a Gemini Capricorn. This would be a mother that is a Gemini Capricorn, a 6, so Gemini. And it would be the son that's receiving the help. Or the Gemini or the Capricorn is receiving. God, I'm hearing calling occupants of interplanetary craft. We are receiving Stephen, I keep hearing Steve. Let's see. Show me Virgo, what they got coming up this week, please, Virgo. So the Ten of Cups, Pisces, there they are. There they are, Charlotte. And then you got Leo / Aquarian. Leo / Aquarius, Aries / Scorpio. You have to follow how I read if you don't know. Yeah, so there's some kind of like I said, there's like starting to pick something up. Like, say you haven't seen the person because they've been ill, which is the Six of Pentacles. I haven't seen you for a little while, and we haven't really been able to spend any time together because you've been ill. And then it starts to pick up. Yeah, get up, dog. Get a move on. Now I'm all right. Now I feel better. Right, great. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's get it on like Donkey Kong. King Kong. Here comes me tossing you, Jane. Let's get it on like Donkey Kong. Someone's riding you like a donkey is what I'm picking up. It's ride you like a donkey. Unless you're going on donkey rides, but I very much doubt that you'll be doing that in fucking winter. Let's go on a donkey ride. Oh, we fuck going on a donkey ride. Let's go down the coast. Really? Where on earth in the world has a hot coastline in winter? Well, other places than the UK, really. So some of you might be looking to think, you know what, let's get out of here for winter. Let's go over and stay at the villa. Okay, let's go Aston Villa. Okay, but some of you are an Aston Villa supporter, football. But like, let's go to Aston Villa or Accrington Stanley. Right? But like, let's go somewhere hot instead of staying here for winter is what I'm picking up. Let's go somewhere else. Some of you are just planning holidays for next year, is what I keep hearing, or this year. Yeah, but you're starting to see your partner again. Jen, Julia, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine. Show me the other person connected to Virgo. 2. But then I don't know what to do. Some of you have got a third party coming up. There's the 2, Jasmine, Julian, Jason, Jackie, that came from the Cancerian reading that I did, and I actually called it that. What did I come up with on the other side on Patron? Well, I was explaining about the 2. Sorry, man, I'm really not with it on your reading. Because to be honest, I really wanted today off. I've got so much to do today other than just tarot card readings. And show me the other person connected to Virgo. I just can't think straight during your reading. Capricorn, there you go. So there could be a third party energy here, maybe, because someone's like got a... The devil could have a metaphysical connection as well. It's a strong connection. It's also a strong toxic one. It's a strong sexual attraction as well. King of Wands and the devil as well here. You're the devil in disguise, oh yes you are. But I just don't know what to. I just don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with myself apart from play with myself. Is what I keep hearing. Like, I just want to watch you play with yourself. That's what I'm hearing. Like, I don't know what to do with myself, so I'm going to have to do it myself. So I don't know what to do apart from just do it to myself. Justin, Libra. Well, there's a 2 there. You do it to yourself, you do, and that's what really hurts. You do it to yourself. So it's some kind of like, the devil is also food, and like you can't stop it unless you do it yourself. So some kind of temptation of like, well, you do it to yourself, so you're going to have to stop beating yourself. Could be Michael Jackson, I don't know, but you're going to have to stop beating yourself off or beating yourself up. Right? You're going to have to stop beating yourself up about it and start to look at why this codependent energy here is around addiction of food. Okay. Was I picking up an illness or a mental illness? Illness or mental illness? Yeah, 2 is more than likely I don't really know what to say. Like, I can't really say yes and I can't really say no. I can't say yes or no. Like, I'm stuck by the devil. So if it's metaphysical, I don't really have a choice I just have to kind of like wait for a decision to be made. Okay, so you will always feel as if you're standing at a crossroads and not really knowing what to do about the situation, but there is nothing that you can do about the situation. Okay, so it's kind of like, well, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. Right, you're weighing up the odds and evens with Stephen. You're very odd, Stephen. I get called that all the time. You're very odd. Let's see. Show me the other person connected to Virgo, please. So the Queen of Pentacles, you got like Virgo, Taurus, and there it is. Exactly the same energy here that came out through the last reading I did of Leo / Aquarius. Same cards came out this side on the other side. Right? There. So there's an avoidance, you see. I want to leave, but I can't. I want to make a decision, but I can't. I want to go. That was it. It was something around people that say, oh, thanks for letting me know, I'm going to cut the cord. You can't cut the cord to karma. Karma is nothing that is behind you. Karma is something that is in front of you. Right? You can't cut a cord. The only cord you can ever cut is an umbilical one if you work at an hospital. Okay, but you cannot cut any kind of tie or cord of personal growth of karma. It's a metaphysical connection that is unseverable if it connects you for a reason. You would not be able to leave it until the reason is explained. That's why you get a 2. So like a lot of people, they feel as if they can't do it anymore, and I'm not doing it, but they find themselves doing it each week, and then the week after, and the week after that, and then the month after that. It's just like work, everything else. I find myself promising that I'm going to have some time off, but I don't. I find myself promising that I'm not really going to divulge into this any longer, but I find myself doing it. I find myself tempted to not do it, but the temptation is so strong that I do it. Okay, so it takes work, it takes practice. It's like a diet. If you want to, you have to start as you mean to go on. So you have to mean what you say. If I'm not going to do it anymore, I'm going to stick by a regiment of not doing it anymore. So I have to really kind of practice in my head to not do what it is all of the time. Okay, because a lot of people through 7 is avoiding the elephant in the room of knowing that I'm really going to have to soon start. So for instance, this would be me on a diet. Okay, I'll talk to the person, but I am not going to be starting a diet before Christmas because it is absolutely pointless. Okay, because it's basically just setting yourself up to fail. The sense that doesn't really make any. Metaphysical connections, trying to cut the cords, trying to escape. Okay, all of those things, confusion, sex, all that kind of stuff, confusion. Okay, so here I'm also hearing a transfusion, a blood transfusion, or a blood doctor, or something like that, blood transfusion. But like, you know, it can be like, you know, I've got a choice to make, right? Here's your plan of action. Do you want to start now or do you want to start after Christmas? I'll start after Christmas. I promise I'm going to start after Christmas. Okay? Because you're not leaving. You're not leaving. You're wanting to, and you're wanting to start, but you're not. Now, if this is a third party, this person also wants to leave and goes towards the other, but also can't go towards the other. So you're still all stuck in this as a metaphysical energy. If it starts to turn up as what it did in other readings of metaphysics, it's like I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. I can avoid this as long as I like, but it will just keep showing up all of the time for as long as the cycle lasts, because it's still bound by Capricorn energy, which means that it is tempting, it's alluring, it's easy and then not easy. Okay, so it makes it really confusing of whether I can or can't stop doing this at the moment. That is anything around love and metaphysics. There's also anything around mental health and that kind of stuff. And it's also around, at the moment, it's around a metaphysical connection of what I want to leave behind, but I can't. I keep telling myself I'm going to stop, but I still don't. I still find myself doing it. Okay, so it's temptation. Okay, temptation. Because if there is a third party here, and it's involving this paradox number, okay, that's also coming from this paradox number, which is a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but Aquarius, so you're in that reading, okay, then here, because there's energies here of like avoiding mothers, there's avoiding grandparents and siblings and stuff as well, okay, but you've got this energy, if it is a third energy here, for any of you guys that are going through that, there's one that cannot make up their mind. It's not a choice to be made. Spirit does not really give you that option. Everybody thinks that free will is something that you have a choice to leave behind or not. But if you're spiritually connected to people, you'll soon realise that that always isn't a choice for you to make. Because if there's things for you to learn, like Leo and Aquarian, their last reading I did, that was so busy with so many people. They had so many lessons in that. It was unreal. That was showing up all over the place to do with their work, their family, fair party, this party, that party, an actual party, like going to court. There were lessons all over the place for that reading. So, you know, it's kind of in here where, if it, like I said, your karma can show up as family and love and court and everything else and food and mental health all at the same time. And then sometimes you'll get a break for a week, and it'll just show up in your love sector. Okay, depending on where everything is moving, it shines up in my love sector. So this week it ends up being about my love life. Next week it ends up being about my family. This week things have got real shit, and it ended up being about everybody. This week it just really ended up being about myself. Right? So, you know, you've got this energy of wanting to start but can't until the end of Christmas, more than likely. Something that you really want to get motivated and going, something that you really want to get out of the way, but you realise that you may not be able to do that until Christmas is finished and over with. Okay, so it might be people that are really struggling financially and around money, and something that you really want to join, like Steve's Patron, but you realise that you perhaps can't until after Christmas. Or like you're saving up for money, then you really want something, but you realise that you can't. Okay, something like that. And I can't do it until then. Okay. Okay, because the devil can also be something that is spread. Meaning it could be flu, it could be a cold, it could be COVID, it could be anything that people that are suffering through that are needing medication, that don't want to pass it on to another one. And that's why this one tries to avoid full contact here. Because I really am picking up signs of anything to do with around disease. Okay, so it would also be sex and stuff like that. So whichever way around you want to choose it. But it would be like I'm trying to avoid this energy because I don't want to spread it over to here. So that's why this is in reverse. Because if I do, I spread it here to the family. So if I see people, I'm going to give it to my mother, my father, my daughter, my son. You know, I really am picking up that there's something that is being spread around. It's probably bullshit, right? But like I'm trying to avoid this energy to spread it. Spreading news. I heard the news today, oh boy, about a lucky man, he made it great. Diddle-diddle-doo. And though the news was rather sad, I know that I just had to laugh. I saw the photograph. I saw a film today, oh boy. Yeah. About a lucky man, Lucky, Laura, Lucy, Lucifer. About a lucky man who made the grey. So someone's going. I was going grey. I ain't anymore. I've dyed me barnet, bruv. What do you reckon? You all right? You all right? Well, like, who said he was going grey? David Gray. The Grey. Anyway, Gray, that's what we got, Dave. But yeah, that's what I've got for you guys, or John, Dave. But yeah, I can't really pick up too much. Sorry, I've got this appointment on my mind. Sorry, I can't get it off. Just like Elvis, really. You're always on my mind. You're always on each other's mind. Even if there's a third party, you're always on each other's mind. If it's food, it's always on your mind. If it's the accumulation of trying to get over Christmas, it's always on your mind. If it's work, it's always on your mind. If it's sex, it's always on your mind. Whatever it is, this motherfucker is always on your mind constantly, plaguing it, the energy of everything, all in the above. Food, sex, drugs, rock and roll, partying, shopping, too much, spending too much money, worry, panic, fear. Okay, avoiding energies of also what the outcome is going to be. Am I going to get any better? When will that be? When will that be when we can let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Man, some of you could be watching what I did. Have you got Disney Plus? Watch the 9-hour stint of the Beatles. It's fucking fascinating. Sitting down watching Paul McCartney physically come up with Let It Be. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Sitting down, writing that, and everybody's reading the newspaper while fucking Paul McCartney just writes one of the most iconic fucking records of all time. Everyone's just sort of like sitting there going, oh dear Jeffrey, what's going on in Britain today? Oh, they're all fucked really. Like, oh, I can't believe the Telegraph today. What do you reckon? Oh, it's all a load of bollocks. And Paul is kind of sitting there going, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Boom, boom, boom. When I find... And, bruv, what the fuck? This makes me go cold. And then he also sits there and he goes, boy, you gonna carry that weight a long time. And I'm like, the fuck, bruv? He's in the middle of writing fucking Let It Be, and he suddenly also starts to write the other fucking track. And they sit there and it's all about Apple Studio. Just before they pretty much broke up, Apple was a double CD back then, okay, the Apple record. And it was just full of fucking songs. They just sat there and wrote 28 songs in a week. And then they made like Let It Be, right, and that went on its own album. Bro, just sit there and write that many songs. Don't you was a man, he thought he was a woman, thought he was a woman's man. I was like, what the fuck, bruv? So if you haven't seen it, get Disney Plus and you can watch it. It's fucking fabulous, man. Really is. Just like absolutely fabulous. Right, so anyway, there's a lot, enough babbling. I'm going to get on with your reading. If you want to join, you can, Virgo. It's the full access bundle only. You can find all info provided below that tells you all about it. Please make sure you like, share, comment. If you want to hit the dislike, just make sure you hit it twice. All right, thanks very much. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you over on Patreon.